There are people gleefully cheering that serial rapist and child sex offender Larry Nassar has been stabbed in prison. Now, if you don't remember this story, I'm going to tell you about it, and I do have a lot to say about the reactions of some. NBC News reports Larry Nassar was stabbed multiple times at Florida federal prison, union official says. Nassar was sentenced to decades in prison for sexually assaulting gymnasts, including Olympic medalists. This guy was the osteopathic physician who was just absolutely disgusting. He's referred to as a disgraced sports doctor. Over many, many, many years, he sexually assaulted numerous athletes that were supposedly under his care, although it wasn't very caring what he did. And in fact, he was convicted on endless counts. He was stabbed in federal prison, 59 years old, stabbed twice in the neck, twice in the back, 6 times in the chest, sustained a collapsed lung. Reportedly, he is stable. Okay, so listen, there are tons of people cheering about this. And often when sex offenders are hurt or raped or assaulted in prison, you see this reaction. Oh, this is great. He's getting what he deserves. Pedophiles don't get treated very well in prison. Remember Trump even joking about, oh, he's going to become someone's bride in prison or something like that. This is not the progressive reaction. And this is not me saying, oh, I'm offended. I'm offended that somebody said they. It's not about that, okay? You can't complain about how dysfunctional our prisons are and our incarceration status quo is, and then rejoice in this. And I'll tell you what I mean. I understand saying, you know what? It's hard to find a lot of feeling bad for Larry Nassar. This guy is one of the worst of the worst. I don't feel bad that this happened. Okay, listen, I'm not asking you to go out of your way and cry because Larry Nassar was stabbed. And I understand that what he did is disgusting. And in some sense, you can say, well, he deserves to suffer. And the suffering is that he's going to be in prison likely for the rest of his life. But I urge you to reconsider the gleeful reaction when convicted sex offenders are attacked or assaulted in prison. No matter what our feelings are about the offender, and this guy is the worst of the worst, when we rejoice in their being hurt in prison, we are doing something that is completely counter to our views. Prison stabbings and rapes are not part of the punishment prescribed by the law. And so therefore, when someone is sentenced to prison, that's their punishment. They're sentenced to prison. And then they're stabbed or beaten up or raped or whatever the case may be. It's evidence that our prisons are failing. Our prisons are failing to keep prisoners safe. This is something bad. It's not something to be celebrated, because violence in prison isn't justice. It's actually injustice. And if you look at any other country where incarceration rates and prison conditions make sense to us as progressives, prisoners are safe. It's a violation of human rights. It's a breach of the rule of law, and it's a threat to public safety when the prisons are so dysfunctional that people are attacked and assaulted in this way. Violence in prison is also not going to be part of the rehabilitation that as progressives we say, listen, we want there to be an aspect of rehabilitation in prison. Now, I am not naive and believe everybody can be rehabilitated. I don't believe that. But certainly violence in prison and prison rape aren't even plausibly part of that rehabilitation. And also, when we cheer for prison violence, we're essentially endorsing a culture of brutality, revenge, and vigilantism that is not only dehumanizing, again, it's against what we say we want our prison system to be. So I would encourage everybody who has been happy about this, and there have been many, to think about it a different way. We should be outraged, not about Larry Nassar specifically, but about the fact that our prisons lack total human dignity and they lack human rights. And much the same way that I'm against the death penalty, not because I think serial murderers are great people who should have fun lives going to baseball games, okay? But because when we support the death penalty, we are supporting killing by the state. And I don't support that. We're supporting revenge by the state, and I don't support that. So it's not about Larry Nassar. It's about, as progressives, we want at minimum adequate security and healthcare and proper nutrition in prison. Okay. And then we can talk about education, counseling, actual rehabilitation, etc. Let's not be happy about this. It's just weird when I see supposed progressives happy about this. And it is, Larry Nassar should get to miserably serve out his sentence in a box for the things that he did, but he should not be stabbed. That's evidence of the failings of our prison system. If you disagree with me, let me know. And make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. And make sure you're following me on Threads. I'm on Threads at david.pakman. Quick break, back after this.